It's time for your daily dose of DragonFaether. Yay! I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long to make this video. You saw from the title and the thumbnail. Today we will be doing a very special tarot reading using dragon cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, this reading is going to be done entirely with Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing cards. I made a custom DIY deck for divination with dragons, only with the dragon cards. So stay tuned to the end if you want to see a flip through of my dragon tarot deck that I made with Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing cards. So before we jump into the message today, if you're new here, assalamu alaikum, merry meet, and welcome back to your daily dose of DragonFaether. My name is Azura DragonFaether, the Draconic Priestess, and I will be your host for today's super unique novel concept of a reading while we deep dive into the messages of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon cards. Okay, this is my favorite thing in the world. This is one of my favorite decks that I've created, so let's just see. Yesterday, we talked about a really unique and oddly specific sign that you're already a witch, so don't forget to hit it in the cards if you have not seen it already. But let's just see what we are doing here. And thank you guys for so much. Thank you guys so much in the Hatchling clan for encouraging me, guys, to share this with you, because I was a little bit shy, but we're jumping right on into it with the Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is one of my favorite cards, and if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! It was super hot topic for a while. I don't really play as much as I used to competitively, so I'm not sure if it's super like popular anymore, but this dragon is to remind us of the ancient wisdom, the ancient balance between the forces of nature, right? It is a fairy dragon after all, and it's the only fairy dragon in my deck, which is so fun that this one is the first card that jumped out for today. But this is truly a reminder that, you know, we must return to our roots, okay? Everybody who's watching, you know, my video and just like has even just seen my channel, like, it's been a really long journey here. I've been posting for like 13 years, and it's about remembering our roots, remembering where we come from, and remembering the path that we take. You know, the Ancient Fairy Dragon really is like regal energy in the sense of it's about how you carry yourself. I'm getting a sense that you guys are afraid to carry yourself with courage. You're afraid to carry yourself with that magic, that mystique. You're afraid to be different. You're afraid to be your geeky, cheeky, and freaky selves. But the Ancient Fairy Dragon is to remind us that it is our birthright to show up how we want to in our full magical glory. Like, this is why we were created to live this life, is so we have the freedom to express ourselves. And let's see, how can we really, guardians, how can we really be free to express ourselves, right? Oh, we have the Red Nova Dragon. Look at that. Look at all of that, like, amazing energy that this dragon has. Full-blown stance with the flames in the background. Look at all those stars that it has. And it means that we also have the dark attribute here. So the way I read these cards is basically taking into account all of the information that is on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card and interpreting it intuitively, right? And this Red Nova Dragon is reminding us that in order to show up as who we fully are, the best step that we can take is putting our full chest out there and blazing through it. You have to trailblaze your own path, because if you cannot do that, you are going to remain small. You're going to remain stuck, and you're never gonna supernova, right? Like, this guardian is here to remind us that it's time for you to explode with your happiness, with your expression, with your life, right? Like, we say all the time on this channel that this life is short, this life is precious, and you experiencing life, showing up in your ancient fairy dragon regal energy is your birthright. And you have to take that by storm, by a Red Nova storm sometimes. Look at all the fire blazing in the background, but his stance is still so powerful, confident, and strong, and that is the key here. It doesn't matter how much it feels like the world is falling apart behind you, how much it feels like people are pointing their smoking gun at you, people are trying to tear you down left, right, and center. No, stand proud, stand tall in your authority, and do not back down. And when we get scared, guardians, how can we really, you know, navigate this? Because a lot of us really don't show up as who we are or how we want to, because why? We're afraid. We don't really know. There's so much unknown, right? So we got a couple here. Let's break it down for us. Let me just set this down really quick. Okay, so we have the Thunder Dragon Duo. All right, we're gonna read these as like a triplet, because we got a couple dragons that spit up at us. Okay, so we have the Thunder Dragon Duo, then we have Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, This is such a pretty rarity. I think it's called a Starlight Rare, if I remember correctly. And then this is Branded Fusion. Such a beautiful card. This one's an ultimate rare, by the way. Such a beautiful card. But here we have Branded Fusion. We have the Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, and we have the Thunder Dragon Duo. I'm hearing that you need to embrace the electric energy within you. It's about knowing that there's two sides that you're fighting within yourself, but the best way to move forward is to unite these like polar opposites within you, right? Like, we aren't just creatures of light. We're not just creatures of darkness. Human beings are creatures of balance, and you need to understand how to balance yourself, right? And the quickest way to do that is to tap into your own electrical energy. You see, our nervous systems are electrical, they're electromagnetic. And I'm hearing this is really important for you to pay attention to your electromagnetic nature. Learn about the science of, energy fields, learn about the science of the electrical impulses through your nerves, like learn about the science of nervous system regulation. This is going to bring you that anchor, right? And it's also going to enable you to stand tall and, radiate your lightning. Oh, and next we have, the Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. You have to be so committed to yourself that anything that you do, people are going to always have their own opinions, but it's an act of rebellion showing up as who you are, especially if you're like, a magical person who, is considered like a minority or considered like a, small demographic that's like not the mainstream, like not like the acceptable identity, right? Like, you need to embrace this dark rebellion. You need to embrace this energy of, I don't care what shows up in front of me, even if it's darkness, even if it's shadow, even if it's terrifying for me, I'm going to show up. I'm going to rebel against who people want me to be as a radical act of self-love to myself. And that, my friend, is going to create the Branded Fusion, right? So we have, the duo, right? We have the two sides of ourselves that we're trying to balance and unite in harmony. And when we embrace the nature of how this is dark and how it's rebellious and how people might misunderstand us and how it's mysterious and how people don't get it, that's what's going to ultimately enable us to bring this Branded Fusion to our life. What does this mean? This is also a spell card. So the way I read these cards is the spell cards are like enabling you to have like some sort of action that you can take, right? And this Branded Fusion is the action that you need to take to unify the parts of your heart that feel like they're at war with each other. Wow. Like, you need to literally balance like the polar opposite nature within your being, within your vessel, and you won't be able to move with that confidence. You won't be able to stand tall in your ancient regal, like ancient fairy dragon energy unless you really commit to that, right? Like, you have to fuse the dragon and you have to fuse the fairy energy within you together to become the DragonFae, right? Like, this is what this card is telling us. It's to, brand your fusion. What does that mean for you? You decide, right? It's not fusion by accident. It's not blah, blah, blah. No, you branded yourself through this fusion, and that is what's going to bring you balance. That is what's going to bring you peace. That is what's going to bring you like rest and relaxation and understanding of yourself and presence, right? Like, when we truly embrace who we are, all facets of who we are, both the dark and the light, like, we become at peace and we become present. And it gives us perspective that most people don't understand, or most people don't, aren't able to really, understand unless they've done that journey too, right? So what actions can we take towards this fusion of these different aspects of ourselves? Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so we have the Rainbow Dark Dragon. I love this. This is from the Crystal Beast, like set of like dragons, right? Thing about Yu-Gi-Oh is they have like all these different like monster packs that like build decks together and they like work together. It's really fun. But the Rainbow Dark Dragon here, to me, reminds me that there seems to be this like shadow casted over your color, this shadow casted over your spectrum, this shadow casted over, the multifaceted layers of who you are. And it seems that there is this sense of oppression. There's this sense of fear for being your amazing, beautiful, colorful self. Do you fear being free in that sense of expression? Do you fear being free in that sense of, no, I am color embodied? Like, I will not deny any part of my spectrum because it is my birthright to show up as who I am. It's really hard to take that narrative for yourself, especially if you've been systemically denied a seat at the table, systemically denied your identity, systemically denied who you are, and told you cannot be that way, and told that you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Like, this is what's going to create this dark over your rainbow, right? But also the dark rainbow dragon reminds us that it's in our power, right? This is the card of shadow work around your identity, shadow work around the spectrum of who you are, shadow work around your various expressions and how they may conflict with each other, making you confused ultimately on how do I even show up correctly? How do I even show up authentically when I feel like I'm a walking contradiction, right? And it's the way you do that is by facing your fears. You literally just gotta face your fears, my darling. Like, you have to understand that you are such a colorful human being. You have such a colorful heart and a colorful soul, and your identity is so unique and so brilliant and so blinding that, of course, people who don't do the inner work, of course, people who don't accept themselves, of course, people who have been, you know, conditioned to be stuck in this rigid way of being, of course, that's going to trigger them. It's going to trigger their shadows because you are wearing it as a badge of honor. You're wearing your shadows just as much as you're wearing your light, and that's what brings your crystal rainbow into sight. It's beautiful. Like, but you're not going to get there unless you push through that fear, right? So you definitely got to push through that fear. Okay, let's see. What is this fear? How can we push through this fear, guardians? Please let me know. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. We have the Krystal Dragon. Oh, I love this card so much. We have the Krystal Dragon. The way we push through this fear is we have to crystallize our vision for ourselves. Have you heard like the saying, like, crystal clear? Like, you have to get crystal clear on who you are. You have to get crystal clear on what your purpose is, on what brings you joy, on what like you love to do, and never ever look back. Like, for me personally, I had to get so for real and so honest with myself about how much I love dragons, about how much I've always loved dragons, about how no matter where I look in my life, even before I had my channel, like, there are like receipts upon receipts upon receipts of the dragons in my life, you know, be it from journal entries to, you know, video games to literally my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, a huge introduction to dragons for me, one of the biggest ways for me to connect with the dragons was through my Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a kid. And that's why when I use this like Yu-Gi-Oh deck, right, that I've made, it's a way for me to, you know, honor my inner child and honor the, like, you know, the fact that, like, I've always had dragons around me, and I will never ever forget this, right? But I had to become so crystal clear with myself about who I am, why I'm here, the path that I've taken, and where I'm going, and why I'm going there. Like, these are the most important key factors in being crystal clear and honest with yourself about who you are. And if you don't know who you are, this is where you start. And that is the most beautiful journey to take. Trust me. It's really scary at first, but honestly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, the best thing I've ever done for myself was isolate myself from the world to get crystal clear on who I wanted to be, crystal clear on what made me happy, crystal clear on what I believed in, crystal clear on who I wanted to show up as, and crystal clear on what I wanted to create and what I wanted to bring life to within this lifetime. Because I had spent way too much time diminishing my rainbow crystalline light and casting the shadow over me. I spent way too much time running away from the dualistic, like, polarity of my nature. You know, like, we all have good in us and we all have bad in us, and that is what makes us human. And anyone who's trying to deny that are denying their humanity, truly. Like, that's what makes your expression so beautiful, my loves, is the fact that you can show up in all of the, like, rainbow that is you, and the parts that shine brilliantly and the parts that are deep voids of darkness, they contrast each other in such a beautiful, harmonious way. Of course, it creates balance when you express it like that. Excuse me. But that's what I'm hearing, you know? It's so important, so important to be crystal clear about your vision, crystal clear about who you want to be and why. Okay, so let's see, how do we get really crystal clear, guardians? How do we get crystal clear on our purpose and how we show up? I'm hearing they still want me to shuffle. One jumped out, but they still want me to shuffle. So how can we get crystal clear on this expression? Okay, one more. Crystal clear on this expression. Let's see. So first, my cards love to jump out, by the way. That's just kind of what we do on this channel. So first we have Blue Eyes, Chaos Max Dragon. My love. Like, you are the absolute pinnacle of beauty, of diversity, of power, of patience, of prosperity. It doesn't matter what like dollar sign is in your bank account. Like, what's in your heart is what makes you prosperous. What's in your mind makes you wealthy. What's in your spirit makes you regal. It makes you that ancient fairy dragon compared to the little lizards crawling around you, right? And this guardian, the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, by the way, it's a blue card because it is a ritual monster. And what that means is you need spell cards in like the Yu-Gi-Oh game in order to summon it properly. You can't just like summon this card willy-nilly. No, there's a process to bring this forth, which tells us that there's a process to bring you forth and deliver you from this darkness, deliver you from this shadow that you perceive to be over your life, that you perceive to be, you know, taking its time or taking its toll on you, right? Like, you have to embrace the fact that this is your time to shine. Like, this is your ritual. Honor thyself through returning regularly to how you feel inside, how you want to show up. That's how you get crystal clear, is by creating a ritual of getting to know yourself. And the only way that's going to be possible for you is with, I love this card so much, with Dragon's Fighting Spirit. Okay, this is also a spell card, meaning this is the action you can take, right? The action you can take is saying, I will not back down. I will not falter. I will not shy away from who I am. I will not be afraid of claiming my power, claiming my identity. I will not be afraid of those who oppose me. I will not be afraid of those who try to belittle me, try to silence me, try to shame me into being something I am not. No, bitch, you're the blue eyes white motherfucking dragon. Start acting like it. Like, you deserve to be on top. You deserve to have a break. You deserve to overcome this shadow, overcome this oppressive nature, overcome this fear. And you're going to do that by having the fighting spirit of a dragon. This is also a field spell, which means that once you have the fighting spirit of the dragon, it's going to encompass all that you do. It's going to encompass every single part, and it's never going to not touch a single second of your life. And that is a beautiful, beautiful gift. And this dragon fighting spirit is going to bring forth your literal chaos max dragon, right? Like, cause a little chaos. Don't be afraid. It's all in the eye contact. I'm hearing it's all in the eye contact, but not with anyone else but you. You need to establish eye contact with yourself in order to get in touch with that dragon fighting spirit, right? And this is going to bring forth the Leviar, the Sea Dragon, right? This is an XYZ monster. And basically all that means is like, you summon this kind of monster by having two of like, or however many monsters of the same like level up here, right? So in order to bring forth this like, this embodiment of your power, this embodiment of like who you're supposed to be, this purpose, after you've taken on this fighting spirit of the dragon, this is going to enable you to soar above the seas, but also dive deep, deep, deep into the depths. It's going to access all levels of reality for you. It's going to access all levels of yourself for you. Remember, we can only go as high up, as deep as we go down, as above, so below. We are of each other. It is nothing but a balance, right? And that's what, like, you know, Leviar reminds us, the sea dragon. Also, see the dragon in you, okay? And like, Leviar is making me think of leverage, and use that to leverage yourself back to where you want to be. You know, see the dragon within yourself to leverage yourself back to who you're supposed to be, back to your purpose, back to the mission that's written on your heart. We all have one. We all have one, okay? We all have a really difficult mission written on our hearts that most of us ignore for the rest of our lives, and we die with it in our hearts, and we never live it. But I'm not trying to be like that, and neither are you. You're trying to live an extraordinary life. You're trying to live a life full of expression. You're trying to live a life full of freedom. You're trying to live a life where you don't have to have that dragon fighting spirit to survive. You want to thrive. You want to soar, right? You want to thrive. You want to soar above the sea while you are able to dive into its deepest depths. And the only way you're going to get there is if you choose this path. If you put in the work, if you dive deep into your emotional abyss and come out rising higher than the clouds. You have to be able to dive to the darkness, the darkest, most heavy, most terrifying parts of yourself, but not lose yourself and drown. It's about going there and having the courage and the strength and the willpower and the dragon fighting spirit to deny the chaos that tries to pull you asunder. And no, you ascend back up to the sky, you spread your wings as you break the ocean's surface, and you soar above the clouds because you are able to touch all of these aspects of yourself. You're able to connect with all of these aspects of yourself, okay? How can we dive deep? How can we go to our deepest depths in order to rise again to the highest of heights? Whoa! That one like really was aggressive there. Let's see what we have. We have the Black Rose Dragon, probably one of my most, one of my biggest flexes of all of my Yu-Gi-Oh collection. This card is pretty rare and expensive. But I will say the Black Rose Dragon, especially as a ghost rare, okay, so mostly the Black Rose Dragon card doesn't normally look like this. This is called a ghost rare, which means I'm hearing you need to ghost everything else that doesn't remind you how rare you are. Wow, bestie. And also the Black Rose Dragon embodies beauty, but it also embodies like intimidation, right? Like when you have a rose, it has thorns, but roses are beautiful, yet when you go to touch the rose and you go to, you know, take the rose's beauty, if you will, it pricks you, it spikes you, and sometimes draws blood. And this is again, just a representation of your sacred balance, right? It's about embracing your beautiful nature and your like the beast. It's about embracing the beauty and the beast within you, right? And ghosting everyone else who doesn't honor that, because you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to do all this hard work at embracing your darkness and your light and unifying them in a crystal clear way to where you know who you are. You don't deserve to go through all that work just to have people around you be like, no, actually, you're wrong. No, you deserve people around you who are going to lift you up, who are going to be like, I'm so proud of you, who are going to help you get there, who are going to hold you when you fall apart and celebrate your victories with you. And if these people in your life, just watch as you literally start to embrace all of who you are and stop having fear control you and stop worrying about people's opinions about you and stop worrying about what other people say. The second you do that, my darling, like people are going to get mad, okay? But you have to ghost that. You have to ghost all of which is not for you. Okay, and the Black Rose Dragon is also a synchro monster, meaning you have to, like, the way you summon it is by having a kind of monster that's called a tuner with other monsters as well. And so basically a synchro monster in this case is telling you to synchronize with yourself. It's very synchronistic that you came across this video today because it's all a part of your journey. But you do not synchronize your life. You do not come into alignment until you fine tune it. You need the tuners in your life. What are you using to fine tune yourself? What kind of disciplines are you practicing? For me, I practice Islam. It really disciplines my practice, which, by the way, nothing on this video, we're not talking to spirits. We're just symbolically interpreting dragons. Disclaimer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting better at like, you know, I'm getting better at the YouTuber thing again. It's been a while since I've been active. But this is what I'm saying, right? Like, you need to understand that, like, it's all a journey, and every single place, like every single part of your path is like divinely placed for you in order to experience your life, in order to challenge you to discover who you are. Are you rising to that challenge of discovering who you are, or are you shrinking and shriveling away in order for other people to be comfortable? Is that a life you want to live, or do you want to embody the majesty and the mystery and the marvel that is your Black Rose Dragon energy? Okay, are you afraid of shining with your beauty, yet afraid to lash out as the beast to protect what's precious? Because this is what matters the most, right? How can we protect what's precious within ourselves? How can we, you know, rise to the occasion, synchronize ourselves, fine-tune who we are without compromising our authenticity? It's telling me to keep shuffling. It wants a couple more, I think. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Okay, let's find out what these cards are. Oh, you're gonna love this one. Okay, guys, y'all are gonna love this one, okay? So first we have Poseidra, the Atlantean dragon. I'm hearing study Atlantis. How does this energy like pull into you? Why are we getting so much Atlantis energy in my readings? This is the second time. But like Poseidra like teaches us to embody that like crystalline sanctuary, that utopia almost, right? It's a reminder to band together with our brothers and sisters and to defend what is, you know, ours, to defend what is sacred and to protect what is precious. It's a reminder that sometimes the darkest light shines in the depths of the sea, and that's where you have to go in order to recover, in order to understand and truly embrace who you are. You can't do that overnight. It's not just something that's handed to you. No, you have to take it. You have to take it day by day. You have to force yourself sometimes into these practices of looking at your shit, into this self-reflection, into this critical and absolutely revolutionary self-responsibility. Radical self-responsibility. If you do not have that, you need to come to terms with how am I the problem? How can I take radical responsibility for myself? And that's what's going to ultimately bring you the Winged Dragon of Ra. I love this card so much. Shout out to my fiance who got this card for me from his cousin. We love Yugioh on this channel. Right? And it says, divine beast, spirits sing of a powerful creature that rules over all that is mystic. Whoa, right? Like, until you choose to go through the difficult journey of why do I feel anxious? Why do I judge myself? Why am I not showing up as who I am? And what can I do to get there? And when you are actively avoiding this work, you are diminishing your God consciousness. You're diminishing your unity with like all that is. You are literally separating yourself through illusions, right? Because you already are who you are, but the way you believe about yourself is an illusion sometimes, right? Like it could be an illusion in a bad way or a good way or a neutral way. It really doesn't matter. But whatever you believe, whether you're right or wrong, you're right. And the Winged Dragon of Ra has come to like remind us that we only become divine beasts. We only become masters over our mystical essence when we choose to embody that God consciousness, when we choose to embody that Christ consciousness, when we choose to come forth to ourselves with radical love and acceptance, understanding that we're not separate from anything. We are a part of this universe and we have a birthright to be here as we want. We have to remember the Winged Dragon of Ra reminds us that we need to spread our wings, that we need to remember our roots and shine like the sun. Shout out to Ra. We love the Egyptian gods too, right? We need to shine like the sun and embrace our golden regal essence. You know, just like the ancient fairy dragon was reminding us at the beginning of this reading, right? Like you only get there, you only become royalty by walking your path of your own coronation, right? You only become a queen if you crown yourself. Right? And the way you do that is by choosing yourself above others, is by choosing your path before another, is by choosing who you want to be and showing up fearlessly, religiously, and unapologetically, authentically as who you are. And that is what's going to make people in awe. It's going to shift the way people think about you. And you know what it's actually going to cause? A title. This is Tidal, the Dragon Ruler of Waterfalls, which, by the way, I love the Dragon Ruler cards. Like, when I was a little kid, like, I made my own Dragon Rulers because I just love them. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. But I digress. That's another video for another time. But this is going to bring in a title. It's going to bring in a wave of change, right? And sometimes this change is going to bring not always like the best of responses, right? When you embrace who you really are, when you embrace that, yes, I have a piece of, you know, God within me. Yes, I have a spark of divine essence and source within me. That is what makes my heart beat. That is what, you know, makes me alive. That's what it resurrects me from my sleep every night after I go to sleep. Like, it's going to create a title of change. It's going to create, you know, now you've dealt with your emotions and you're securing yourself. So now you're becoming a mirror for the people around you. And it's going to cause some people to have waterfalls of emotion. Sometimes it's not good, right? Not everybody's going to self-reflect on who they are after you level up to who you want to be in a positive way. Some people might really start hating you. Some people really might start trying to drown you. Some people might start to try and undermine you and shame you because they can't have any power over you anymore and they don't like that, right? They're big mad. So this is what I'm hearing is the most important thing, you know? And let's just tap in really, really quick here. You know, what is ultimately the most important thing for us to know in being our authentic selves? We have Kochi Dragon. Oh, I love this dragon so much. It's another Krystal Dragon. Isn't he so cute? Oh my gosh, I can't handle this dragon. I'm feeling called to read its description. It says, once per turn, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach one XY material from this card and attack once again in a row. Yeah, you have to understand that every single time that people come after you, every single time that people, you know, try and force their will upon you, try and force their ideals upon you, you are so crystal clear, like the body of the Kochi Dragon. You're so crystal clear on who you are. No, you're detached from what other people think. You're detached from how they view you. You're detached from their opinions because you know who you are. You don't need anyone to validate that, right? And that's going to allow you to, you know, clap back at people. That's going to allow you to, you know, become aggressive in the way that you are committed to yourself. Like, no, you cannot speak to me that way. Like, no, I will not back down for you. Actually, you're a weirdo. Things like that is like critical, right? Let's get some clarification on this. Can we get some clarification, my darling? Next, we have Judgement Dragon. I love this one. Judgement Dragon. This is a card that mills cards off the top of your deck. All that means is that at the end of every single battle phase or at the end of your turn, the cards on the top of your deck go into your graveyard. It's the way that like my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck works. I'm just trying to like explain this so I can tell you guys how I'm reading the cards, if that makes sense. But the Judgement Dragon is coming forward to remind you that cast your judgment upon only yourself. And do not judge anyone else, because the more that you know, look inside and judge yourself, like, honestly, like, say, hey, like, I don't really like that I'm showing up this way, or like, hey, like, I didn't deserve that. Like, these people are being weird. Like, I deserve better. Like, these judgments are really important to make in your life in order to move the way that you want to. And the reason why I mentioned the milling of the top of the deck, this card in particular mills 4 cards at the end of each battle phase, or at the end of each turn. And this means that it's, don't be afraid to send people from your home, like from your circle, from your coworker, from whatever. Don't be afraid to like send them to the graveyard, in the sense of like, don't like literally unalive them. That's not what I'm saying. Don't wish harm upon them. I'm just saying like, oh, like their opinions are dead to me. Like, I don't need that. Like, if people are casting their judgment upon you, mill their cards, right? Put it in the graveyard, right? Like, if they judge you, be like, okay, I'm gonna just bury that because it has nothing to do with me. No one can judge you, right? Like, only God can judge. Like, no one can actually accurately judge you because they don't know you, right? We barely know ourselves, okay? So, and here you look at the bottom of the deck. I'm just gonna show you guys real quick, but we have Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. When you literally discard your attachment and you discard people's opinions of you that don't matter, and you get really clear on who you want to be, and you use your dragon fighting spirit to remember as your compass of where you're going, like, eventually you're going to become the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. You're going to shine so brilliantly, so ferociously, so rainbow chromatically that it eclipses anything that wants to hurt you. It eclipses anything that tries to silence you or tries to make you less than. Because you are worthy and deserving, and you know that that is your birthright. You are unshakable in your faith in yourself, right? The best scene in Game of Thrones was when Daenerys had that monologue to Jon Snow. Do you know how I got here? It wasn't faith in any god. It wasn't faith in any whatever. It was faith in myself, in Daenerys Targaryen. I'm getting emotional because like, I really resonated with that. Like, you know, I didn't always have God the way that I do now. Like, I didn't always have like the perspective and the outlook that I did now. But one thing that I always had was faith in Azura DragonFaether. And I would never let anyone ever for a second tell me otherwise. And because I radically committed to myself, radically committed, no, I'm going to be who I am. I am the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon now, and I'm here to remind you that you can do it too, and it's your birthright, and you have no idea how good it feels to just take that leap of faith, go through your darkness, reorganize your priorities, merge, fuse the two like polarizing parts of yourself into balance so you become whole. I am the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon now because I do not deny myself, any part of myself. I know where I come from. I know the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I also know the brilliance. I also know the sacred steadfastness, and I also know the unshakable faith that I have walked this earth with since the day I was born, and I will never, ever let anyone take that light away from me. Just like you need to never, ever, ever let anyone take that light away from you. Do you understand me? That was a lot. So can we have a comforting message before we jump out of here? Oh my god, we got so many cards for this one. Let's break it down. Okay. First, we got Michael, the Arch Lightsworn. I love this deck. It's based off of Archangel Gabriel, or Michael, the Arch Lightsworn. This card represents angels within the deck that I made. So I'm hearing that you do not need to fear, for you have a legion of angels by your side. And you know, if you resonate with like Archangel Michael, he's really coming in through this video, as well as Archangel Gabriel or Jabriel. Michael and Jabriel, or Michael and Gabriel. You have to understand that these angels are watching out for you. They're looking over you and they are smiling upon you because they know that your love is tender and genuine and innocent. They know that your faith is strong and resilient and beautiful and unwavering, unshakable. They know that the world wasn't built for you to express yourself and have your freedom. That's why you have legions of angels by your side. All you have to do is have faith that they are with you, right? And once you have that faith, it's gonna bring you to that Starlight Road. I have so much faith in you, beautiful humans. You guys have no idea what is ahead of you if you just choose to radically accept who you are. Radically choose to be like, no, I am me. I am divinely protected. I am in balance. I love all sides of myself. I will not be shaken. I am regal like the ancient fairy dragon, and you cannot deny me a seat at the table anymore. That's going to give you the straight shot, the straight road lit by starlight for you to become the star that you've always wanted to be, to live the life that you've always known was meant for you. It's written on your heart and you know it, right? And this card is a trap card, but the way that it works is that if it's triggered in the game, you get to summon a Stardust Dragon, which is the dragon on the card. And the Stardust Dragon, because it's on this card, I'm going to kind of read off of that energy too. The Stardust Dragon reminds us to fearlessly stand up to anything that isn't okay. It's to protect what is precious. It's to shine a light in the darkness and not let the bullies put you down. And no matter how much it seems like the odds are stacked against you, you will not stop. You will not back down, because that is what makes you a star. And you already know that you are, and everybody knows it too around you. That's why they're so anxious of you stepping into that. They're like, who am I when they do this? Who am I when they accept all of who they are? But that is their journey. It's not yours. Nobody else matters but you. Okay? And lastly, we have Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. It's time to embrace your fire. I love that we got dragon rulers in this reading. I love the dragon ruler so much. Shout out to those of you guys who used to watch my ancient dragon videos on my altars. You'll see these guys on my altars from a decade ago. But basically, it's like, it's time to trailblaze. It's time to radically commit to who you are. It's time to blast through the infernos that people tell you you belong in. Like, no, being yourself isn't gonna throw you into hellfire. Being an asshole though, that'll put you there, right? But radically showing up as who you are and loving yourself and caring for yourself, and ye harm none, do what ye will. People wish they could, throw hellfire upon you because it's triggering their inner demons. And they associate their inner demons, they project that onto you, and they make you the demon. They make you the wrong one. They're saying, why do you wear those devilish horns? Why are you so bothered by it? Like, honestly, you know what I mean? So in conclusion, let us just jump into just a couple more before we get out of here. What can, Guardians, what concluding statement can we hatchlings focus on for today's reading? It's been a really good one. But let's see. We started the video with an ancient dragon and we're ending it with one. The ancient sacred wyvern. I love this card so much. Look how beautiful it is. There's like all of these like sigils and symbols on him, but he looks so ancient and he looks so like, wise, right? This is how you just stay faith, right? Remind yourself what is sacred. Okay, remind yourself what brings you joy and cherish it, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I love showing up with my horned hat, my hijab, and my dragons behind me. Why? Because that is who I am and how I am most comfortable, and I love being who I am. And that is sacred, that is precious, and I will never change for anyone who hates on me, anyone for their judgment, no. Because you do not matter in my world. I matter in my world, and you matter in your world. And I need you to make yourself so sacred that you dare not even think about entertaining somebody who tries to deny you that. Your energy is so sacred that people can't even approach you unless you allow them to, okay? It's not about being a doormat anymore. It's about being the guard of the door of your heart, and you get to allow who goes inside. It's a time of, do I want to spend that energy on people anymore? Or do I want to spend that energy on myself? Or do I want to spend that energy on uplifting my community? That is what makes you ancient and sacred, right? Remember your roots. I'm hearing, please look into who you are, look into your history, look into where you come from. You might be surprised what you find. Okay, but that's all I have for you guys for today's reading. I hope you guys really enjoyed this super unique Yu-Gi-Oh card, like Yu-Gi-Oh Dragon Tarot reading. I had so much fun making it. If you are interested in checking out more videos, please hit the cards. We have all of the readings for you right here if you're interested. But more than anything, I wanted to tell you guys that it's all in its divine timing. And if you start viewing things, you know, hey, like this is like divinely decreed, like every choice I make is divinely meant for me, you can never lose, you can never go wrong. And this is what I'm here to remind you guys, you know what I mean? But thank you guys so much for spending some of your day with me today. Like, it really means the world to me. And I was really nervous about sharing this Yu-Gi-Oh Dragon Tarot deck with you, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. Leave a comment below on what your favorite card is. But before we get out of here, I did want to, you know, share a little bit of this, you know, the deck of the cards. So we had all the cards that we read for today. You know, this one, we have these guys, you know. These were all the cards that we read for today's video, and we love them. We read quite a bit of cards today, but this is like a pretty decent chunk of the deck, but I'm about to show you the rest of them before I head out here. Love that card. Kachi Kochi, so cute. But yeah, guys, they are so beautiful, and I love the size of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They're like really easy for me to shuffle, like unlike most of the tarot decks that I use. They're like absolutely giant compared to it, but let's look through the rest of the deck. We have Dragon Tactics, Darkslayer Dragon, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Eclipse Wyvern. We have, let's see, we have Light Pulsar Dragon, we have Queen Dragon Jin, we have Montage Dragon. This is one of my favorites. I love Montage Dragon. And then we have Guard Dragon Pitsy. I love Guard Dragon Pitsy, so cute. What are you doing? Hold on. These cards are a little slippery, so I'm doing my best. And then we have Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. We have Dragon Maid Lorpar. We have Rainbow Refraction. We have White Stone of Legend. We have Blue Eyes White Dragon. We have Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms. We have Stardust Dragon, like we were mentioning earlier in the reading. We have Saphira, Queen of Dragons. We have number 97, Draglubion, one of the best words ever made. Scrap Dragon, such a cool concept for a card. And then we have Mirajade, the Ice Blade Dragon. Love this card. We have the Black Stone of Legend. We have Five-Headed Dragon, totally a classic. We have Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, one of my favorite cards, I'm sure you can tell. And then we have Leviathan. Shout out to Riley from Starstorm Studios for sending me this. I absolutely love Leviathan so much in this deck. And then we have Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. We have Light and Darkness Dragon. We have Lubellion, the Searing Dragon. We love. And then we have, let's see, Guard Dragon LP. I love it. And then we have Brioniac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. So cute. And then we have Malefic Truth Dragon. We have, oh, I skipped one. We have Heavenly Dragon Circle. We have Red Eyes Black Dragon, another classic. We have Dragon Shrine. We have Dark Armored Dragon. We have Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, one of my favorite cards ever. We have Slifer the Sky Dragon, love it. We have Exploder Dragon, again, one of my favorite cards ever. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, I've won way too many duels with this guy. We have Heretic Dragon King of a Tomb, such another beautiful card. Inspired by Egyptian gods. Oh no! I'm gonna put this down because it's fallen everywhere. We have Rainbow Dragon, lovely. You know how we had the Dark Rainbow Dragon? We also have regular Rainbow Dragon in this deck as well. And then we have Luster Dragon, one of my favorites, like such an OG card. We have the Flute of Summoning Dragon, of course, and we have Redux, the Dragon Ruler of Boulders. And those are the 63 cards in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon tarot deck. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you love it. Let me know which one your favorite dragon is down below. Let me know if you resonated with this reading and if you want more Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon tarot readings in the future. I'd be so honored to do some because they're super fun. But yeah, if you're interested in keeping the discussion going, don't forget to check out this video right here, okay? It is basically gonna tell you why everybody deserves dragons. So you're not gonna wanna miss that one. And if anyone tells you otherwise, that they own any part of dragons, they're weird, okay? Because everyone deserves dragons, okay? Click on that video, and tomorrow we'll be back to discuss some more magic and witchcraft with you guys. But until next time, stay geeky every day! Little hatchlings! Bum, 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 bum. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the Hatchling Clan Discord. First link in the description down below if you want some more Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh! Tarot readings. But Gadafis, blessed be. Amen.